A few weeks ago, I flew all the way from Montreal to Barcelona, Spain, to paint 2 graffiti pieces at one of the city's most famous legal walls. In the last video, I painted this green burner right here, but the day wasn't over yet. I still had another sketch ready to go. Another 14 colors worth of paint in my backpack, and just enough energy left to squeeze out one more piece before heading back to the hotel. This is how my second piece of the trip, and my favorite one, came together.
Hey gang, what is going on? My name is Esmond. I'm a writer from Montreal, Canada, and I'm back here in Barcelona, Spain. I'm still here this week. I'm gonna bust out another piece, and I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun. It's about 30 degrees Celsius here. It's pretty hot. It's pretty humid too, so it feels like about 35. But I think I might survive. Might survive to paint another piece. You think so? Stick with me. You'll see.
As soon as I finished the first wall, I packed everything back into my backpack and started walking. I only went a couple of 100 yards to my left before finding another section of the zoo wall that looked perfect. If you don't know what the zoo wall is, make sure you watch my previous Barcelona video. I'll link it up right here. It's nearly 750 meters long, so there are endless places to paint. I still had some black buff paint left from the first wall, so I rolled everything out. Then I did something I don't do very often. I actually stopped. I sat down, I ate my lunch, drank a ton of water, and mentally planned this entire piece before making another mark. 4 hours in the Barcelona sun definitely starts catching up with you. I decided to sketch everything using turquoise. Not because I planned it, but because it was the fullest can I had left, and I knew I wouldn't need any of that color in the final piece. Right as I was getting ready to paint the background, a lady walked over. Her name was Valou. She was from Tahiti, and to my surprise, she spoke French. Thousands of kilometers from home, and suddenly I'm having a conversation in French. She asked me about the piece, the colors, and then she asked me something that completely confused me. She asked if I was painting with the other artists beside me. I looked to my left. Nothing. I couldn't see anyone. So I walked out into the street, and because the wall curves around the park, there was an entire crew painting less than 100 feet away. So we walked over together and I introduced myself. The crew included Gyro, Rutze, and a few of their friends. They were Chicano-style tattoo artists and graffiti writers originally from South America, now living in Barcelona. They couldn't have been friendlier. We talked about graffiti, about traveling, about Barcelona, and I told them I'd stop by again once I finished, because I couldn't take my leftover paint back on the airplane with me. Better that another writer uses it than letting it go to waste. Back at my wall, I started with the background. This time, I wanted something a little different. I painted Rosa Rosario flares exploding from the folds and creases between the letters. It immediately gave the wall a lot more movement. For the fill, I worked from top to bottom instead of side to side. Anthracite Grey, then London Grey, then Pearl Grey, fading each color into the next. It almost gave the letters the look of brushed steel. Next came the Sonar Green outline, and honestly, if I could repaint one thing, this would be it. I should have used Psycho Green instead. It would have popped so much more against the black background. It would have also covered in one pass. Instead, I had to trace almost every single line twice. Live and learn. Once the outline was finished, it was time for my favorite part, the details. I added horizontal sketch lines through the fill, but instead of using the same color, I used the opposite color from the gradient. Pearl inside the dark sections, anthracite inside the light sections. It created just enough contrast without overpowering the fade.
Mamacita, ¿cómo hacemos así? cuerpo es fuego para mí. Dulce de leche, venga para aquí. Mamacita, no quiero compartir. Cuando entro a un club, yo me veo original.
Then I built the 3D using 5 shades of green: Hull Green, Laos Green, Laser Green, Sonar Green, and finally, Psycho Green. Dark to light. Exactly the same approach as my first wall, just flipped.
Todo esto muy friki en la cama, soy muy slicky, yo te hago wiki wiki na 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 na. Mamacita, ¿cómo hacemos así? Tu cuerpo es fuego para mí. Dulce de leche, venga para aquí. Mamacita, no quiero compartir. Okay. Cuando me mira ya, tu cuerpo que es mala. Mami, ven pa' aquí, quiero comerte y tu boca me hace mal. Mami, no piensa más, quiero perderme en ti. Mami, ven pa' aquí. Dale.
Malca, ella no sabe, pero esta canción va a ser super hit, ¿me entiendes? Pon este beat de nuevo.
Mamacita, ¿cómo hacemos así? Tu cuerpo es fuego para mí. Dulce de leche, venga para aquí. Mamacita, no quiero compartir.
Finally, I added Rosario pink doodads in the letters with Tokyo pink highlights.
It's been a long time and I miss this feeling. It feels like freedom, it feels like healing. Floating off the floor, past the ceiling. The wind in my hair, I can see the light. At the end of the tunnel as I'm taking flight. Man, I'm feeling like myself again. Hey.
Then I wrap the entire piece in a flowing Tokyo pink ribbon that weaves over and under the letters. That ribbon ended up being my favorite detail of the whole wall.
Past the ceiling, the wind in my hair, I can see the light. At the end of the tunnel as I'm taking flight. Man, I'm feeling like myself again. Hey, man, I'm feeling like myself again. Angels fascinated, reporting back to the maker. I'm emancipated, blow a kiss out the neighbor. Saying bye to Felicia, saying hi to Miss Parker. I was in the darkness, didn't stop me shining though. I was at the bottom, but it didn't stop me climbing though. Talents, we ain't hiding those. Cookout, I'm providing flows. Homie, you invited. Get reunited with the real you. You no longer gotta hide it. They love to see us fighting, love it when we are divided. Yo, we bottom.
Once everything was finished, I packed up and walked back over to Gyro and Rute. Since I couldn't fly home with aerosol cans anyways, I gave them everything I had left. They were really appreciative. We chatted a little longer about graffiti. I told them about the Hull Graffiti Jam happening back home in Canada, and they actually said they'd try to make the trip in July 2027. That would be incredible.
Hey. Hey, I'm feeling like myself again. Man, I'm feeling like myself again. Yeah. It feels good, don't it?
After a full day in the Barcelona heat, there was only one thing left to do. Walk back to the hotel, jump in the pool, and cool off. Then I rewarded myself with one of the best biryani lambs I've ever eaten. Spicy. Exactly what I needed after walking nearly 10 kilometers with a backpack full of spray paint. And that wraps up my very first graffiti trip to Barcelona. Honestly, this might have been the favorite trip I've ever taken. The graffiti walls, the people, the atmosphere, everything about it was incredible. And the funny thing is, we're actually not done with Barcelona yet. During the trip, I also had the chance to visit the Montana Colors factory. I filmed the entire experience, so that'll be coming up in a future video. If you don't want to miss that one, hit subscribe, give this video a like, and let me know in the comments. What's the coolest place you've ever traveled to? Or where would you love to paint if you had the chance? Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay up,